What's going on, guys? This is going to be the weekly outlook going into October the 3rd. Um, going to go over the last week setups and going to take a look at what's to come. So just take a look at the risk disclaimer. And if you have any questions, make sure you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments, whatever you got to do. Just hit me up. I'll definitely respond to it. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So we're gonna start on the daily as usual, and we'll see how the markups from last week kind of correlate to what's going on. We opening the week up here at on that Sunday. We pretty much ranged until we got to Friday and we broke through this last low. We took out this low from last week, and Wednesday set the majority of the week's high here, low here, and we made that high within this fair value gap. So let me throw the markups on it for that so we can see that. Um, our low was here at 35.8270, which basically tapped down into the fair value gap for the daily, and even almost had the order block. There's a weekly order block that's right here too, that kind of line up with it, so that makes sense for it to come down there. I didn't see it coming down to, I'll be totally honest. I thought it was going to hold inside of this range, and the news that came out on Friday kind of took it where it was trying to go. uh, I probably would have held inside here a little longer if I had have took that into consideration. So for now, we'll just open it up here, opening up the week at right about on the daily. Uh, that's weird. Opening up our weekly at 35.8270, which is cool. We have a little small imbalance that's right here, and then we were trading back into this daily fair value gap, so that kind of makes sense for us to do so. So let's hop down to the 4 hour chart, switch it over here. Right now you can see with this first 4 hour candle, this is opening us up for an imbalance, and that makes sense for us to go through that, create an imbalance there to get through this low and this low, and then we got this order block right here. So that's kind of the only thing that I'm focusing on the 4 hour, is if this 4 hour candle holds like this, that gives us the time to focus on this area right here as an imbalance. And we could see something like, from this high, make a low, somewhere around here, and then push back up into this area, and then maybe reject from there or push up to this order block. But that's early. It's still early, so I won't dabble too much into it because it's early. Going into the 1 hour chart. Going into the 1 hour chart. Of course, you'll see a little more things to set up that could act as a setup. Got this order block right here. Did I put this in the wrong one? Yeah, I think I did. I'll come back and fix that. But we got this order block that is pretty far away from where price is right now, but that's the primary focus for any type of movement that I'm looking for. A little small gap here. I kind of jacked up this, put this in the wrong spot. So let me see. 15-minute, 1 hour. All right. So this is the only thing I'm looking at right here, where we got the order block right here, but it's kind of far up, so nothing to really watch for. This little small one right here, this is balanced, and for the most part, from on the 1 hour, we seem to be balanced all the way down through this area right here, except for this one little spot. Then we got this, but we could see, us come back into this area, 36.33 area around, or to 36.27, 25 area, and see us come back. And this would be bearish, even though this is a bullish fair value gap. It would be treated as something bearish now, and see the supply sell off from there. So I'm kind of going to focus on that on the 1 hour. And then finally on the 15 minutes where the action is, you'll see, all right, first things first, we got this order block, a little imbalance here. I didn't think it was going to be reason enough for now to draw it in, but there's one right here which explains where this week is coming from. Because it's early, I won't really focus on that. And then we got this order block, this fair value gap, and this also acts as a this one is our order block right here. So we got a couple things to focus on the from the 15-minute perspective, right? And that will give us our opportunity to see how we do from the low we made here on at this point up until we get to this area. That's the one when we want to start paying attention here and into this area, if we can push up into that, and we can likely get a lower time frame set up from here. And then again, if we move higher into this order block, and then this will even be a fair value gap from there. So, but early, definitely early, to consider any, little too early to consider any of that right now. Going into the news, let's take a look. On the 3rd, we got a red folder for CHF, CPI, if you're trading Forex. This one, PMI, will be the one we need to pay attention on to Monday. And we got manufacturing numbers, and that's going to be the one that'll be at focus for us on Monday. Tuesday, got FOMC speaker, jobs numbers. Yeah, those will be the primary ones. Wednesday, PMI, crude oil, ADP, because next week's NFP, so first week of the month. And we got OPEC meetings all day, so Wednesday will be should be pretty busy. So Thursday, the 6 unemployment claims, and then Friday we got NFP release. So it should be a pretty interesting week because we got decent news on every day. So we should definitely be able to catch some good movements. Wanted to bring something else to you guys' attention. Thing that I learned from ICT is to look at the COT report. Let me see, did I already have that up? Yep. So looking at the COT report and seeing how the institutions have basically traded so far, and looking at what they've done so far. At this low, they were buying, and they pretty much pushed us up to that point, and then they slowed buying, right? So we were in an upward trend on the buying until we got to that point. They slowed it and they allowed it to fall here. They picked back up near this high, and then they started to slow it right here. So based off of what the COT report is saying, that looks like they're going to slow it to allow it to drop to wherever point that they're trying to go to until they're ready, right? So this is our institutional versus retail versus larger funds, right? Institutional being big buyers, your federal buyers, large funds. These are your hedge funds that are also large, and then that's what our retail in the blue. So keep that in mind. It's barcharts.com. So this strong buying by the institution kind of held this low and up into this high, up until they balance price out right here. interesting thing about this is the highest that this has been since 2020. So that's why that's important. They said they slowed down buying, and you can see they've been saying they were going to slow down buying all this year, but this actually looks like it's the opposite. So they slow buying now finally, but like this is definitely their chance to kind of hold up the market until they were ready to let it go, right? And this is kind of to be expected, right? So again, going into next week, we will likely have a lot of movement. Let's look at I want to check the weekly one more time. I didn't look at the weekly. I didn't even mark that new stuff up on the weekly, so pardon me. And we'll go to the weekly here, but it looks like it's still the same though, right? Left this weekly imbalance open, so that's still an area of interest. This imbalance right here is the next recent level, and we're inside of this order block right here. So we could come down in these areas, but want to see what happens on a weekly. If we stay inside of this candle right here, you can guarantee we go down into these areas. So kind of just gotta pay attention to see how we trade for the week. But high, low, even if we push up, if we can't take this high out, then we still need to kind of be aiming for these areas right here. If we don't take this high out, if we do take the high out, we could look for sales inside of this imbalance to possibly take that out, or we can just go ahead and look for a down candle or a longer wick, and maybe will be a low to set us to go a little higher into this imbalance, and then start to look to take it out some of this price action within this order block. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. I wish I had started with the weekly first, but that's okay. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of review some of the trades that were taken last week. Some of the trades that were taken last week, and I'm gonna get you guys a little idea of what took place. Some of them I gave out in my chat when I could. Week started here at this level. These were the trades that were taken. We'll look at them from the 1 hour. This was a sale taken here. And if we throw the 1 hour back on, you can see it was based off of this imbalance that was here, but it kind of played around that day. There was news to come out on this day. It was a little janky for the most part of the day. It pushed up, pushed down, pushed up, pushed down. And I actually took a loss on this trade, but I ended up getting back in on the second entry to make up for it. And I hit the targets down to this low is what I was really shooting for, down to the imbalance low right here. But as you can see, it actually ran a little further than expecting. I wish I had left a runner in, but I didn't. So that's okay. Not too mad about it. Wish I could have got something more out of this, got more of this move, but it still ended up being 300, over 400 pips on that trade, right? Even with the loss up at the top. Then going into this was let's see. Let me throw this on the kill boxes here. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, going into Wednesday, when we made the high and the low on Wednesday, made the low during London, made the high at the close. And I wanted to get this low or even catch it here, but I was out early that morning. Had some stuff to do that morning, so I had to kind of wait and see what was happening. But I took this trade. I actually sent this one out to the group, and the I was looking to buy it into the fair value gap that was here to here on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, you can see it a lot better. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and drop that on there. I think I moved that stuff off already. Okay. But if we look at the 4 hour, look at the 4 hour, right? Low, high, was going to trade from outside of the fair value gap to get at least the close, which was right here. And my third target would have been that was going to be the high of the fair value gap. But I saw that it was still running, so I closed partial here, partial here, partial here, left a little here at 4, and I could have even left some more in, but that wasn't the case. And that's all right. You know, sometimes you can't catch it all, but it was cool with that trade. And then going into Thursday, definitely great trade here. We made a high during pre-market right at 7. And I really wanted to catch it from up here, but it was during London. I didn't get a chance to take that. But I was okay with taking it from where I took it from, knowing that if it didn't, I would just hold it from here or take it from the order block. So I was going to be okay with even getting in this low. My second opportunity would have been inside of here or at this order block. I had another order I was looking at right here. So I kind of went in light here. Not light, I put about a third, a fourth of what I normally would put in here, but risk reward was good. So, you know, this was still 500 something pips on this trade. Also could have let it run a little more, and try to get down into this order block right here. But I didn't. I let it close out right here when it hit the target. And then going into Friday, took a little L on Friday, and I had the right idea for this setup. But I was in early. If we go down to the 15-minute, you can see what I was looking at. I was looking at this little fair value gap that we had already bounced off of here, and we bounced off of it here. And I was looking at that as the entry to take it from here. But there's an order block here that it actually reacted off of. And I was typing up some messages to the team, so I missed these 2 wick entries over here. And I actually got in on this same counter that dropped it. So you know, it was only 40 some 50 pips on that. Again, I only, because it was Friday, I only used like an eighth of my entry, so it was okay to even lose that. But I hate it because I at least would have got a chance to get to my first and second target, and I would have probably been in the right mind state to take this as for a sale. I was actually on the chart when this took place, and I was talking to my buddy, and could have definitely taken this, but you know, overall, still did great this week. Took 1, 2, 3, 4 trades, 4 wins, 2 losses, really 5 wins and 2 losses. And the pip count was still 300. So that's 340, 442, 540, only 50 lost there. So then this one broke. It broke even like round. I think I lost like 30. So I think I lost maybe 80 pips. And I think I got about 1,000 pips this past week. So I am more than fine with that. So, you know, that's okay, you know. And the risk management was great because even the trade I lost on Friday, I only used like an eighth of the entry. So like taking that loss was nothing. So again, you know, gonna keep it chill this week. Not gonna do press too hard. Um, just gonna watch how we open up and move into this candle on the daily, high, low, see if we come out of this candle to the downside, or do we come up to the up to the high of this candle? And if we do, what type of points of interest do we move into? And that's what I'm going to be asking myself for the remainder of the week, right? So on that note, I'll probably drop a midweek review, and then drop another top-down analysis on that session, and then I'll do a Friday closeout. So hope you guys get some value out of this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, let your friends know, and have a great one.